Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. My name is Paulo and again, let's go for the 19th ink review in a row. The door 19 is here of the Inkvent Calendar by Diamine, the red edition for 2021. And let's see what is inside this door. And it is a purple ink. I think sometimes I have some trouble to open this because you see these inner tray slides a little bit up and down. So let me try to take it out. This is just a plastic bone folder, so not bone. It is called Festive Joy and is clearly a purple, and it is a standard ink. So another purple ink, which is always nice to see. So I'll be back in a minute. And let's see how purple this purple ink will look like on paper. So unscrew the cap of the bottle. Again, the same thing over and over again, 25 times. Some ink bottles seem to be a little more empty than others, but it may also be just kind of illusion, I'm not sure. So 3 drops of ink, close the bottle. This they kept very securely. They have lots of threads and there is a very nice resistance at the end. So okay, nice purple. I'm not comparing it yet because it's not even dry, but I would say that I like purple inks that remind me of Diamine purple or Waterman purple, and at first glance this one does. So let's see how it dries and I will be back to show you how it did and how fun it is. So let's go for the rest of this review. This is the Festive Joy, a standard ink, and let's see how the swatch looks like. And here it is. It is a very nice purple, I would say. Maybe this is a little overexposed. So it's a very nice purple in going towards the blue side of purple. So this is kind of an ink that I really enjoy. I like this kind of shade. And if we need to make some comparisons, I have here several of them. And I have to compare it with 2 purple inks from the calendar from 2019. One will be the Winter Miracle, which is a very, very, very similar ink. I would say this ink is the same, except this one has much more sheen. There is a little bit of sheen there, but not much. This one has much more sheen and it has blue shimmer. So that would be the biggest difference between these inks, but I would say that the base ink is the same. We also have from 2019 the Purple Bow, and the Purple Bow, I would say it's a more shading ink going from a lighter tone into an even darker tone. So I would say this is a more regular, nice violet or purple. I really don't know the difference between violet and purple, if there is any. I have here for comparison the Diamine Violet, which you can see is much lighter. I have the Diamine Monbodo's Hat, and this ink is very similar, but Monbodo's Hat is darker at some places. Where there is more ink, it's darker than that one. I have here the Kaveco Summer Purple, but this one is on the reddish side of purple. The Noodler's Brexit, which is a kind of dusty violet. And finally, the Leonardo Ficina Italiana Purple, which has a very beautiful sheen, but we can say there are some similarities. The darker part is quite similar, but this one is more blue and has no big sheen as that one has. So I would say that this ink looks nice. I like some purple inks. I like to have some purple inks around, and this is the kind of purple I enjoy. Dark, that will be easy to write with in many circumstances. Now, the comparison of the ink swatch with these, we have a line that is visible here, so I would say there is some water resistance in this ink, and then it goes up with the purple, and then there is only, I would say it's kind of blue, and then there is a little line of magenta on top. The pens that I chose for this review. I chose two pens, two older pens. One is this. This is a pen that I like a lot. This is the Aurora 88 Nic Argenta, an old pen from the 1940s, which is kind of inspired on the Parker 51, but I would say it is a better version in my opinion. It is a piston filler. I don't love piston fillers, but this pen is well made. Aurora 88 there, and you have this semi-hooded nib. And this is, I would say, a fine nib. And then I have this one, the Sheaffer, how is this called? The Sheaffer, I need to check it, Sheaffer Triumph Imperial 444. The white dot there, the short clip, and then it has this section with the inlaid nib. I don't know why I'm having so many problems in focusing. And Sheaffer there. There is also engraved there on the bottom. This is a fine nib. So I chose these two. I know they are both fine, so there won't be a major line variation on paper, but they behave differently, so I thought about that. One is a drier pen and the other one is much wetter, so this will give us some comparisons. For these comparisons, I have three papers as usual, and I have the Moleskine paper, which is this cream colored paper, and you can see the purple is quite dark, quite nice. I really like it. The writing with the Aurora, and the focusing is having trouble. So the writing with the Aurora is much finer, almost like an extra fine, and the Sheaffer is much wetter. When you look at the other side, you have the surprise that there is almost no bleed-throughs, only in specific points. So this is really a nice, a well-behaved ink, I would say. So very nice, strong and dark purple, and I don't see much shading, which is something that I like. Let's go for the Oxford Optic paper and compare the ink in both papers. It looks more purple here, no, it looks lighter on the Oxford paper and darker on the Diamine. The Aurora writing seems so much finer here because the paper has better quality, and so you can see a little bit more shading, but really not that much on this ink. I would say that the Sheaffer looks kind of the same, but Aurora looks much finer on this paper. And on the other side, there is no bleed through. And we go to the Navigator copy paper. A very nice tone shows here also. Let me put them like this. So the Optic paper is the lighter. The Navigator is the next one, and the it looks darker on the moleskin, so I think more absorbent the paper is, more the darker it looks. It has some bleed through here, you see some points, more than on moleskin, and there you can see it doesn't feather, which is kind of surprising, and I think that it looks really nice, it behaves well, so I am really impressed with this ink. Now let's go for the final paper, the Rhodia dot pad, which is the same paper as this, but this is a squared paper, and I use squared paper here to see how is the ink coverage of the paper. And if you look here, you can't see, or you almost can't see, the squares of the paper under the ink, and I think this is nice. So this is a very saturated, solid color. I prefer this to the more transparent color, so again, I'm very happy with the characteristics of this ink. This is one that I really enjoy. It's very hard to see the lines, and so it's great. And that's why I choose the squared paper there. And here I have the regular dot pad that I use for many stuff. And you can see the Aurora writing looks fine. Then you have the drying time. It's almost 25 seconds to dry. Of course, if you use a broader nib than this Aurora, it will take a little bit longer. And then you have the water resistance test. You can see that you can still see the line that was drawn there, but there are some inks where you can see the line, but in this smear thing, in the place where the drop of water was placed, the ink dissolves, and when you clean it, it just goes away. In this ink, it doesn't go away, it stays there. And let me tell you that this is visible through the chromatography. So, when you have this line that stays there, and then everything washes up, and this is just white paper, it means that this part is water resistant and the other part is not at all. So this means there is some water resistance here and then some lower water resistance there. So when you have this part with color before that line, it means that the droplet will be stained. Let's call it that way. So finally, let's just show the pen's writing and we'll end the video. So with the Aurora 88, the quick brown fox, this is really a very nice dark shade of purple. I really enjoy it. Jumps over the lazy dog. And let's go now for the Sheaffer and the quick brown fox jumps over lazy dog. So again, very nice ink, very well behaved. There is no special property about it, just a dark purple ink that is very discreet, and I think it really looks nice and behaves nice in these two nibs at least. So very usable, very simple, but I think it's great. So this ink I enjoyed. I hope to meet you here soon, not soon, tomorrow for another video. So this is all for today. I hope to meet you tomorrow. Bye.